Well, we're at it again, folks. This is for the December 2018 season, okay? And this is Tarot Lumination, and that's you guys, Pisces, and this is the mini kind of generic love and relationship report, okay? You know, if you've been here before, where you're going to use the Tarot Lumination Crucible spread. It's on the understanding that there's yourself, there's a significant other, a chosen one preferably, and a third entity called a relationship, okay? So in a very healthy, loving relationship, both parties are aware of the crucible, of the structure, of the nature of the relationship itself, and they invest through the relationship much more than direct face-to-face, always understanding and aware of the nature of the relationship, as though it's like a house or a business. You got to make sure it's in good condition. You don't want it to fall apart and rot all around you. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. Let's just make a few notes actually before we get into it. These are just Tarot Lumination personal notes. This is what we use in the personal readings, but we can share a little bit of it here. I'm just going to pull out some basic dates. Simple stuff. December the 6th is the new moon in Sagittarius, and it's about the same time Mercury is now going direct again in Sagittarius. So that could be a lot of relief for people. The new moon in Sagittarius is typically very uplifting, optimistic, energizing for a lot of us, no matter what your sign is. December 21st, through the month, the sun is entering Capricorn, and that is the winter solstice here. And so it's a big shift and change in energy. And the 22nd, just the day after, it's the full moon in Cancer. So that's going to be a very intense period right at the end of the month, right at the Xmas holiday time, okay? So please allow for that. Emotions might become very acute, intense at that time, and everything might become a lot more serious and profound as the month changes. A couple of things I want to note here. Personally, I feel big shifts in the energy recently as Mars has left Aquarius and now has moved off into Pisces, and it's squaring off hard with Jupiter in Sagittarius at the very tight degrees here for the early part of the month especially. So that's a hard square, hard conflict. And my personal view is because it's a square with Jupiter, even though it's a square and it's challenging, there are still benefits here. And so I feel it's like an expansion of spiritual awareness through challenges to our most deeply buried secrets and wounds, okay? And in general, for the whole month, I'm feeling very much the energy of shifting, like being kind of on a roller coaster where perhaps you hadn't been planning for this and you just got invited and with friends and family or whatever, you just go along. And it's a little bit shifty, like being stuck in an airport in San Francisco with full fog, and lots of stuff is changing and shifting and happening. And we got to figure out what to do with it all. And that does affect love and relationships. Okay, so let's go at it. Thank you for your patience. There's so much more we could talk about with all this stuff, but I just want to get on with the cards for you because that's what you guys are here for. Cards are well shuffled in advance, as you know. I just go to like the last second so that you can be a witness. Okay, there we're good. Now, please invite your special friends, your invisible friends, angels, guardians, whoever you believe is out there behind the veil on your side. If you're not aware of it, invite them anyway. Just act as if and just, go along with the process, okay? They are there. Believe me, they are there, and they love to be invited. So why not now? This is a good time as any. Also, before we get into it, do the usual routine. Check out all the links, for the other playlists. Subscribe and likes, of course, and also the goodies, the shopping, the membership, and the First Friday healing events. Check all the links below, please. Okay, when you have a moment. All right, here we go. For you, this is Pisces, all right? It's not a couples reading. It's all about you, Pisces, okay? Over here is the energy of you. What are you radiating? Think of yourself like a cell phone. Okay, what signals are you putting out? Over here, the same from a significant other. Over here, deep inside of you, what are you radiating? Over here, deep inside of them, what about them? Over here at the very core. I hope you can see this as kind of a structure, like a bowl shape. This is the crucible. A crucible is a structure that is built to withstand intense energies of alchemical reaction, just as what happens in a human relationship, okay? As we intimate and separate, through all the classic dynamics that happen in a relationship, the very worst of things and the very best of things, okay? And where are you? Okay, here we go. Over here, prospects and momentum. What are you guys actually building? This is a living thing. What are you building? What are you creating here? With the energy that's around you, yourself, themselves, and all the environmental energies that are out there for you. Think of it as the weather. You have the Ace of Swords here. So my feeling is that this is like a real stark moment of awakening. Actually, let me actually pull up a freaking chart here. Excuse my language. Community guidelines error. Sorry about that. So, sorry about that. So here's the little Tarot Lumination Astrodoodle for Pisces for December 2018. I'm not going to go into it too much. My personal feeling here is that you've got Mars and Neptune right on top of you. So Neptune being your ruling planet, you get all the wonders, but you also get the shadow aspects. Sometimes it's extremely hard to figure out who are you really and what are you doing, how you do it. And but it is your energy, so it's like you're getting amplified and lit up in your best ways possible, but you are still vulnerable to all the shadow aspects of Neptune, which can be very hard to diagnose and fix and heal. Secondly, you've got Mars there activating and stimulating you, so you might feel really like let's say driven, excited, determined to succeed and achieve during this time period here. Also, just to point out, little moment of significance, the 27th, the moon will be in Virgo, okay? That's your opposing sign. So let's have a look at the chart. Just want to double check that one. And so please be aware of that. You're going to get your sort of little mini opposition there. And also with the full moon in Cancer on the 22nd, that's hitting you in the 5th house of love and relationship and romance. So you might get an awareness there as well, okay? All of that stuff happening for you right at the end of the month, okay? Let's set that aside. We're not going to really use that for now. Okay, so my feeling here is like with the theme of awakenings and awareness, this is a really amazing opportunity for you with Jupiter and Sagittarius, like blowing things up in your, let's say, your destiny, your place in this world, and getting new awakenings here. Now, how that affects love and relationship, that's your business. But this is a chance for great opportunities, new starts, new beginnings, and to really take hold of it, take full advantage of the Mars in Pisces. It only happens about every 2.5 years or so. So grab it while you can. I think you've got about, a month, maybe 2 months of this. So use that for your benefit, okay? I'm going to set that aside for now. I don't want the distraction. Over here, what are you radiating? Let's have a look. Like the Four of Cups. So it's a little bit understandable. As wonderful and benefic is the Jupiter energy, especially Jupiter in Sagittarius and its home turf, it's like literally really strong, really powerful. Technically, it's an astrological square to you. So I'm hoping you don't take it personally, but it looks like you are a little bit with the Four of Cups here. A bit of woe is me going on. And this might be the first opening salvo days, the early days of Mars in Pisces and Jupiter in Sagittarius, bringing out, like shaking things up like, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, how on earth did I mess up and screw up my whole life for so long doing this and that and all my self-sabotaging and self-undoing, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Where did I go wrong? How did I screw up with this relationship and that relationship and my loved ones? Everybody and then you start swearing to yourself. But over here, it's a reminder that the love is still out there. Okay, there's a little Ace of Cups here. It's a very beautiful card in that regard, and it's just a reminder. Energy flows where attention goes. If you are so distracted by the shadow aspects of what's happening in the planets right now, then it would be very easy to slip into this. It would be so easy because Pisces, you can be so sensitive to the energies. Just the slightest uh, irritation could easily trigger this feeling inside of you. And the thing is that the trap here is that you get stuck into like a negative feedback loop, and you forget all the abundance that's there and your chances and opportunities for love and healing by way of revealing. Okay, talking about this, the opportunity for expansion of spiritual awareness through challenges to our most deeply buried secrets and wounds. And those would be directly inside you, and you might get a much clearer awareness of what that feels like in love and relationship much later in the month. Okay, but for the first parts of the month, you might be like very shaky about this, like wondering what to do. Over here, what about the other? Okay, so with the Seven of Wands, it looks like they're doing a very good job of holding their ground, because it, you know, no offense to you, Pisces, but it might be actually very tough for them to relate with you right now as you get really shaken up by this. That's what I was talking about earlier, where we've had a lot of shifts recently, just switching out of the Scorpio Taurus thing, and the Uranus Venus axis being very awkward, now switching into a well-defined Jupiter Mars conflict that is affecting everybody, but for you, Pisces, it's kind of right in your face. It's coming at you hard sideways because it's a square angle, and that might make you extremely sensitive and very vulnerable, and kind of caught off guard, and which might make it very difficult for a loved one to be there for you in your moments of weakness. It's almost like they're having to hang around with a very sensitive, like a dog who's been injured, or a cat, or a bird that hurt its wing or something, and you're super delicate, super sensitive right now, and aware of the positivities, but it's like it's almost too much. And so it becomes like very difficult in some ways for them to get too close to you in case they don't want to get bit, like, oh, ow, like they just don't want to get bit. So they're holding on, maintaining their integrity under their own challenges, because they too are going to be experiencing these items I brought out here. Okay, this is universal stuff for everybody. So my feeling is that they're doing a really good job, and they are on top of it. So don't worry too much about them, okay, Pisces? Really focus on yourself. Treat this as it's a profound lesson in learning about like the laws of how energy flows where attention goes. It's really important that whatever these issues are that are coming up that need to be addressed, they need to be addressed for healing. You got to reveal it to heal it. So please see the opportunity here for deep self-healing and awareness, spiritual growth and awareness, and a beginning of this journey for a year now, courtesy of having someone in the seventh house here of relationship who can reflect this back to you. So please see this as a privilege and come out of it. Focus on the love that is there as opposed to all the love that isn't or wasn't or may never be. Okay? Please be aware of how fortunate you are to have these challenges right now. Okay? Let's go deeper inside of you. Okay? Because my feeling is deep down you really want this to work some way, somehow. Not moving away from them so much, but moving away from anything and everything that doesn't work for you. But it might mean that you're going to have to learn the hard way about how to do this. So if that's happening in the context of a loving relationship, and you're in a situation in a loving relationship where there are certain like trigger points that are really being highlighted right now, because, you know, again, I'm not a master astrologer here, but there's no question that the fifth house of love and romance is going to be lit up here right at the end of the month. And you got that moon in Virgo there, and you got this stressor thing here. This, let me just highlight this. This is the stressor that I was talking about here, okay, with the Jupiter Mars thing. So this might be wigging you out a little bit. So please see this as an opportunity, a chance for growth and expansion, understanding your destiny in the world, how you can learn that through significant relationship. I'm just asking for you to be patient to the end of the month, where it's a lot more will be revealed at that time. There's so much shifting that's going on this month. We need to be very gentle with ourselves, okay? Allow yourself the understanding that you will move on. You will find new ways, new attitudes, new perceptions to finding the most peaceful and healing ways to go forward. But you need to live through the process of got to reveal it to heal it. What are they radiating over here? More swords. Okay, so with the Eight of Swords, again, I'm feeling like this is like a reflection of almost like your own energy coming back to you. It's almost like they're saying like, damn it, it's really hard relating to you this month. And, no harm, no offense intended, but seriously, I feel like I'm dealing with a wounded bird here, just the slightest thing. And like, I don't know, I could be touching a landmine. I could be walking on eggshells here. I got to be so careful. And with the Eight of Swords here, yes, I feel that is amplified, where they're having to be extremely careful about how they navigate themselves through their relationship. I think in some ways they're consumed with just trying to get through the relationship. I don't necessarily, well, this is their energy. It's the Eight of Swords here. And I think they are doing everything they can to get through this and seeing it sort of like a maze, almost like a San Francisco airport where everything is fog bound, but you still have to proceed. Flights are being canceled everywhere. Oh my gosh, what am I do? What am I going to do? How am I going to do this? Do I have to cancel this, leave this? It means I'm going to be delayed on the other flight. I'm going to miss the next flight, and so on. In my relationships, oh no, oh no, oh no. And they're dealing with it. It's probably not something that they would have chosen, but that's what's happening. They're dealing with the struggles of the relationship inside themselves. They're doing it, and at least they're hoping that they can do it. And they're putting in the efforts because it looks like they want this to work some way, somehow. So my feeling is that they're struggling with their own stuff. You're struggling with yours. You want what's best and what works for you. It's hard because you're consumed with what's not working. And it's hard for them because they can see you suffering and they don't want that. So they're trying to be very delicate and gentle as how they navigate and move around you. What about at the core here? Okay, so if all of that translates into a feeling that the relationship is, let's say, impoverished right now, in other words, we're going through a natural cycle for you, Pisces, where you might be in a relationship dynamic which is very challenging for you. But it's happening in the context of the relationship. There is the crucible, there's you, there's the other, and you're kind of like almost like this, like uh, damaged bird, like, oh my God, I don't know what's happening. I don't know how to deal with all this shifting and changing. And they're like, well, I'm having my own problems too. It's just like, oh gosh, don't come near me. Don't come near me, please. Like, oh, I'm doing my best. I care. What am I supposed to do? Like, I don't know. Maybe I should come to hug with you. No, oh, it doesn't work either. Oh gosh, oh gosh. And so you would get that feeling of classic, like the moments of the dynamics of we intimate, we separate, intimacy, separation, intimacy, separation. And so it might be feeling a bit like this, okay, as you live through this month. And then towards the end of the month, things will probably gel and make a lot more sense and stabilize as you get through the very first early shocks of the month. And then you can get a little bit better sense of intimacy and connection and relationship, okay? Over here, so remember, this is not the end of the world with the Five of Pentacles here. Resources are there, but it just means having to go through the challenging circumstances. And let's say, go back to the understanding here from the Ace of Swords, the circumstances, and what are you going to learn from this? What are you going to take for this? Please see all of this and all its challenges as an opportunity for spiritual growth and awareness for you, Pisces, and with a ripple effect onto the significant other. In other words, they might thank you at the end of all of this, like, wow, how did we do that? How did we get through that fog event. I don't know. I was really struggling. Thank you for being there. Like, I was so scared to get near you. I couldn't even touch you. Couldn't even give you a hug or a kiss or anything. Like, it was awful. Yeah, it was awful. But maybe we can, start to like get a little closer. Okay. And it's not the end of the world. You still got this thing. All right. Let's have a look. Prospects and momentum. What are you building? Aha. Ha ha. See what I mean? With the Lover's card here, you go deeper and deeper. You discover what it is that is really happening on the inside of a relationship, the depths of the relationship, the very, very most delicate, tender parts of the relationship. And you discover a lot more about yourself and your loved one discovers a lot more about themselves and you. And that truly is a blessing. This is a beautiful thing to have for you guys. And I think it's a profound message to be extremely aware of how lucky you are, no matter how challenging it is. Like if there are really horrible things happening with you, Pisces, in love and relationship, please treat it as a blessing, like things that needed to be revealed in order to be healed. And then you don't take it so personally. You don't have to lash out or wallow in the misery and the sorrow and pain of what's not working. You can actually take full advantage of this thing here and see it as a great opportunity for spiritual growth and awareness as you would learn in a loving relationship. Please see this as a dynamic flow, not as like your whole life. Remember, we've just come out of the November season, which was very different. We're going through this transitional month because of the Mars in Pisces and the Jupiter in Sagittarius going into a whole new paradigm in 2019. Just we're not even going to talk about that yet. There's some huge stuff going on. Okay. So I hope you get something out of this, Pisces. Remember, it's not a couple's reading. We're just allowing for their energy in your life and how we're dealing with that as a storyline for you. So I hope you can, reinterpret this to suit yourself. Also, the routine, it seems to work very well. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising dynamics, especially if each one is different, because you might resonate more strongly. Like if you're a Pisces sun, okay, fine, but you might have other aspects that resonate even stronger to the rising or the moon or something. Who knows? But that's up to you. I would encourage you to watch all three as needed, and hopefully, if we get a chance, watch the spiritual journey reports as well. Okay, all the best, Pisces. Seriously, you can handle it. Don't you worry. All right. Check out the links below. Please consider becoming a member. It's one of the most effective ways you can say thank you. Okay. And of course, do the subscribes and likes. And consider the Healing First Friday events. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you so much, Pisces. Bye-bye.